Hello, today we'll discuss what is simulation, introduction of simulation. In this lecture, we'll see when simulation is appropriate tool, when simulation is not appropriate. We'll see definition of simulation. Also, we'll discuss advantages and disadvantages of simulation. What are areas of application of simulation? What is the system required, system environment, the components of simulation system. We'll discuss all these things in today's lecture. So, what is the definition? A simulation is the imitation of the operation of real world process or system over time. Generation of artificial history and observation of that observation history. A model constructs a conceptual framework that describes a system. A behavior of a system that evolves over time is studied by developing a simulation model. The model takes a set of expressed assumptions that may be mathematical or logical model, symbolic relationship between entities. A model can be used to investigate a wide variety of what if questions about real world system. Potential changes to the system can be simulated and predicate their impact on the system. Also to find adequate parameters before implementations. So, simulation can be used as analysis tool for predicting the effect of changes, design tool to predict the performance of new system. It is better to do simulation before implementation. How a model can develop? So, mathematical methods, numerical computer based simulations. So, in mathematical methods, so probability theory, algebraic method, their results are accurate. So, they have a few number of parameters. It is impossible for complex system. So, in our subject, we are going to discuss many mathematical models. So, numerical computer based simulation is also used in simulation. So, it is simple and it is used for very complex systems. So, human beings having limitation of storing, of repeating the things, but if the numerical computer based system is there, you can iterate an n number of times and you can store the huge data and you can solve the complex problems also. When simulation is the appropriate tool, the simulation enable the study of internal interaction of a subsystem with complex system. Informational, organizational and environmental changes can be simulated and find their effects. A simulation helps us to gain knowledge about improvement of the system. It helps in finding important input parameters with Changing simulation inputs. Simulation can be used with new design and policies before implementation. Simulating different capabilities for machine can help determining the requirement. Simulation models designed for training make learning possible without the cost disruptions. Simulation also helps. A play can be visualized with animated simulation. The modern systems such as factory, water or wafer fabrication plants, service organization is too complex so that its internal interaction can be treated only by simulation. So in this area, the simulation is the appropriate tool. So it has a wide range of application. In which case simulation is not appropriate? When the problem can be solved by common sense, simulation is not required. When the problem can be solved analytically, simulation is also not required. If it is easier to perform direct experiment and you are getting the result in front of you, then in such case simulation is not appropriate. If cost exceeds savings, then it is not necessary to go for simulation. If resource or time are not available, action is required. In such case, simulation is not appropriate. If system behavior is too complex like human behavior, so everywhere you cannot apply simulations. So these are some cases where the simulation is not appropriate. So before applying any tool in operation research, you must think, is it the appropriate place or not appropriate? Accordingly, you can apply any suitable tool. So these are the cases where you cannot apply simulation, or here simulation is not appropriate. So what are advantages of simulation? Let us discuss advantages and disadvantages. In contrast to optimization models, simulation models are run rather than solved. So given as a set of inputs and model characteristics, the model is run and the simulated behavior is observed. So let us discuss some advantages of simulation. New policies, operating procedures, information flows, and so on can be explored without disrupting ongoing operation of the real system. Here, without disturbing ongoing real system is very important thing you can apply. You can explore the system. So new hardware designs, physical layouts, transportation systems, and so on can be tested without committing resources for their acquisition. The time can be compressed and expanded to allow for speed up and slide down of phenomena. So clock is self-control in the simulation. Insight can be obtained about interaction of variables and important variables to be performance. Bottleneck analysis can be performed to discover where work in process the system is delayed So you can analyze after this simulation. A simulation study can help in understanding how the system operates. What if question can be answered? So these are advantages of simulation. Then what are disadvantages of simulation? A model building requires special training. Vendors of simulation software have been actively developing packages that contain models that only need input templates. So it requires special training. Simulation results can be difficult to interpret. Simulation modeling and analysis can be time consuming and expensive as huge programming is required, the database is required, knowledge is required. So many simulation softwares have output analysis. So these are some disadvantages, but the application is huge one, the outcome is huge one, then you can go for definitely simulation. Simulation is preferred in such case if cost of equipment on the service, so it is huge, then you can go for simulation to save. Where it can apply? So areas of application of simulation. In manufacturing application you can apply semiconductor manufacturing, construction engineering and project management. In military application, logistic, supply chain and distribution applications, transportation modes, traffics, here you can apply simulation. In business process simulation, industries you can apply. In healthcare, automated material handling systems, the beds for functional testing of control system software. So you can apply the simulation technique here. Risk analysis, computer simulations and network simulations. So all of you familiar with all these systems. So many times we are using in our day-to-day life also simulations. Let us discuss what is the system required and which type of environment required for simulation. Before going to discuss system environment, let us see what is system. A system is defined as a groups of objects that are joined together in some regular interaction towards the accomplishment of some purpose. A system is defined as a group of objects that are joined together in some regular interaction towards the accomplishment of some purpose. For example, an automobile factory is a system where machines, machine component parts, workers operate jointly along assembly lines. So this is a system. The factory is a system. A system is often affected by changes occurring outside the system. That is called system environment. So factory is a system. So arrival orders from outside, the effect of supply on demand, relationship between factory output and arrival system. So this activity of the system. So this consists of system environment. So banks, arrival of customers. So all these are example of system environment. So what are components of a system? So in particular system, as we discussed, the factory is one system, our classroom is one system. So what are components of system? Entity, an object of interest in the system. So machines in a factory are the entity. Their attributes, the property of an entity, the speed and capacity, that is attribute. Then activity, a time period of specified length, that is welding time, stamping time. So the activities related, these are there. So in classroom, the teaching learning process, it is an activity. The timetable is an attribute. So entity is a glass board, this projector. So these are the entities. The state, a collection of variables that describe the system in any time. The status of machine, is it busy, the classroom is engaged or empty. So the state, the collection of variables that describe the system in any time. At what time there are lectures, at what time the classroom is free. It is a state. It is a status of engagement. Means is it busy or ideal or down? Event. If in a classroom lecture is going on, or seminar is going on, or any guest lecture is going on. So event, the instantaneous occurrence that might change the state of the system breakdown. So endogenous activity and event occurring with some system. Also some exogenous activities and events occurring with the environment. So these are some system components. And what are different types of systems? So systems are classified into two categories. One is discrete system and another is continuous system. A discrete system is one in which the state variables changes only at discrete set of points in time. So back example, so number of customers waiting in the line or being served. So it is a discrete system. So one after one the customers are coming. So bank is an example of discrete system. Then second is continuous system. Continuous system is one in which the state variables change continuously over time. Head of water behind the dam is a continuous system. Then let us discuss model of a system. To study the system, so it is sometimes possible to experiment with systems. So this is not always possible to experiment with the system. For example, the bank. So you cannot go and experiment there. So it is sometimes confidential. So you cannot do experiment. In some factories, they have their own the technology. So they cannot leak their technology outside their premises. So it is not possible there to experiment. Also a new system may not yet exist. So to study the system, it is sometimes possible to experiment with the system. So you have to design a model to experiment. So model, construct a conceptual framework that describes a system. It is necessary to consider those aspects of the systems that affect the problem under investigation. Unnecessary details must be removed. So modeling is nothing but construct a conceptual framework that describes a system. So this is what model. Then what are different types of model? So if you consist any system, so experiment with actual system Then experiment with model of actual system. So usually in simulation, the experiment with model of the actual system, model of actual system is preferred in some cases, and where the simulation is not appropriate, the experiment with the actual system is preferred. Further, the experiment with model of actual system, so that model may be of physical model or mathematical model. So mathematical model, it is solved analytical or by simulation. So in this way, the simulation comes under mathematical model, and experiment with such mathematical model of actual system is nothing but simulation. Okay, so this is what the simulation. Then next thing, once you decide a simulation model to be done, so characterizing a simulation model is very important. A deterministic or stochastic. Does the model contain stochastic components? Or randomness is easy to add to does? A static or dynamic? So which type of model is it? So is time a significant variable? Is it continuous or discrete? Does the system state evolve continuously or only at discrete points in time? So continuous models are used in classical mechanics, whereas discrete models are used in queuing, inventory, machine shop models. So the characterizing a simulation model is very important thing. So discrete event simulation model, the stochastic, some state variables are random. Dynamic means the time evaluation is important here. And discrete event, a significant changes occur at discrete time instances. So system model, so you can see the sequence or classification of system model. A system model is classified into deterministic and stochastic. So deterministic models are again classified into static and dynamic model is classified into continuous and discrete system. Again stochastic models are classified into static and dynamic, and this dynamic model is classified into continuous and discrete. The stochastic static is nothing but Monte Carlo simulation. So in this model we will discuss the Monte Carlo simulation in detail. Also we will see some examples on it. So DS model development. How to develop a model? If you want to develop a model, so some steps you have to follow. So first, determine the goals and objectives. Build a conceptual model. Convert into specification model. Convert into computational model. Then verify, is it model is in right way, and then validate. And then it is typically iterative process. Again and again you have to do iteration, like in linear programming. To get optimum solution, we are iterating the thing. So similarly, so iterative process is required in development of models. So there are three model levels, three levels of models. So one is conceptual, very high level it is. How comprehensive should the model be? What are the state variables which are dynamic and which are important? So this is a model level, conceptual level. The second is a specification level. On paper may involve equations. How will the model receive input is important. And third level is computational. A computer program, a general purpose simulation language. So these are some levels of models. Then the next thing is verification and validation. In verification, a computational model should be consistent with specification model. Did we build the model right? So verification is very important thing. And validation is also important. A computational model should be consistent with the system being analyzed. Did we build the right model? Can an expert distinguish simulation output from system output? So this is what validation. So interactive graphics can provide valuable things. So we can verify, also we can validate. So there is a difference between verification and validation. In verification, we can see only did we build the model right? But in case of validation, so here can an expert distinguish simulation output from system output? So we can validate from actual system output or experimental output. Then what are steps in simulation study? So first step in simulation study is problem formulation. First is problem formulation. Then setting of objectives and overall project plan. Then model conceptualization and data collection. Then model translations. Then it is verified and validated. Then experimental design and production runs and analysis. More runs, iterations, documentation. Documentation and reporting. And the last one is implementation. So these are steps in simulation. Here you can observe this flow chart which you can see on your screen. The setting of objectives and overall project plan. So there are two ways. Simultaneous action you have to do, the model conceptualization, as well as you have to collect data. From the data and model conceptualization, so you can make a model translation. Okay, then you have to verify it. If it is okay, then you can proceed. If there is any problem, then so model translation, you have to repeat model translation. After verification, you have to validate it. If it is validated properly, then you can go for experimental design. Otherwise, again you go and collect data, also you model conceptualization, repeat this procedure. So this is what the verification and validation. Then experimental design is done, then production run and analysis is done. If the analysis is within limit, then you can proceed. If it is yes, okay, more runs, okay, and if result is no, then you can proceed. Okay, if any correction is there till the getting the required result, okay, the required qualities, so get a desired solution. So if it is not getting, you can repeat it. Okay, experiment design, then production runs. Okay, and once it is completed, so no improvement is there, so then you go for next step, that is documentation and reporting, and the final step is implementation. So this is what today we discussed. So introduction of simulation. In next lecture we will discuss in detail some parts of the simulation. Okay, thank you very much.